Hello and welcome. My name is Anthony Radzikavich. I'm an instructor at Gateway Community College for the Maricopa County Community College District. Today, I wanted to go over some basic security steps for Facebook. But as you'll notice, the things that I'll be covering over this video will work for social media in general. So the first thing that I wanted to address is actually an overview of what we'll be covering. I want to go over some password practices, information sharing do's and don'ts, logging in and out of your account, stranger cyber danger, malware, phishing, and some of Facebook's security features and how you can find out how to use those. So the first thing is passwords. You need to create your passwords so that they are unique, meaning don't make them based off of dictionary words, things that are very common, because those things are incredibly easy to break through. Also, you need to make sure that they are memorable. If you don't remember your password and you have a sticky note on your monitor, that's probably not secure. Another thing to say about uniqueness is your passwords for each and every single site that you go to that you have an account on should be different than one another. And there are things called password managers such as KeePass, which can help you do that very quickly and efficiently so you remember one while the software remembers all of them. But of course, if you use that, don't make that password very easy to break. Otherwise, all of your passwords are null and void. Also, don't share your password with others. I know that Tina or Johnny might be your best friend at the moment, but hey, sometimes things turn sour and they may want to take over your account for whatever reason. It's just a best practice to keep it to yourself. Your passwords are your keys. You generally aren't giving the keys to your home, your car, your boat, if you have a boat. Man, I wish I had a boat. Anyway, you don't generally give those out. So another thing is general best practices for creating the passwords is you want them to be a combination of lowercase letters, uppercase letters, numbers, and symbols. If you intermix those, it makes it a whole lot harder to break into using something like brute forcing or dictionary attacks. However, I cannot stress it enough that if you do not remember your password and you have to write it, put it with the sticky note, it's not a good password. So, information sharing is incredibly important when dealing with social media. Listen, it's social media. We're supposed to talk, we're supposed to gossip, we're supposed to show funny cat videos or dog videos or goat videos or whatever videos you're into. But you want to protect something called your personal identifiable information. That could be your social security card. Probably not a good idea to share. Your address. Surprisingly enough, you might think that sharing your address is very secure. It's fine. It's okay. It's just your friends. However, let's say you post on Facebook, hey, I'm going to Cancun for 3 weeks, and somebody has already extracted your address. That can be a potential opportunity for the, let's say, less ethical folks out there. Also, sharing your birthday may actually be an issue if you use your birthday with password recovery items, which is a general question for pretty much every password recovery operation that I've seen in the past a while. Also, your information sharing can be different, right? You can set these settings for public, meaning anyone in the world can see all of your posts, your whole wall, all of your pictures or whatever, and you can even isolate each and every single one, meaning your pictures, your posts, your pages, etc., based on public, your friends except not those people on your friends list, and of course only you. So here's a great example of what not to share. It's like, hey, it says, guess who just got a credit card? And somebody else responds, and guess who has your credit card number? Me and all 269 of the rest of your friends. Should probably take it down. Honestly, don't put it up in the first place. Now, you might think, well, what does he mean by logging in and logging out of my social media account? And you'd be surprised at how many people go to a Best Buy, such as this example, on a public computer or at the library, and they forget or they just don't care to log out. If you're logged into an account and somebody comes in after you, they do have full access to your full account, so it's unwise to leave those keys to literally anyone. Also, I put work computers and private computers in here because work computers are not private computers unless you have like one of those awesome jobs that they're just like, whatever. But you really need to check your company policy to see what the accepted use of company property is, because you may get in some jeopardy if you are on social media at work. Now, if it's your private computer and you have it locked away in your house or apartment or wherever you're staying, you can generally leave it logged in so long as you understand the people that are around it, who has access to the machine, and you do indeed trust them. So that leads to another thing about trust and knowledge and being surrounded by people. It's social media. You're supposed to go out there and meet people. However, you get a friend request. Some simple questions to ask are they familiar to me? Do I know them from somewhere? Are they Prince, maybe from Nigeria, who's just looking to try to get back for $20? He'll give you $20,000 in return. It's a scam. Don't do it. But I want you to understand that strangers may send you a friend request because of all of those settings that I specified before. The public, the friends except those guys, right? And then, of course, only yourself. If they can go within the barrier, the circle of your friends, they have access to much more information to glean from your profile. And I will tell you what, social media is a fantastic place to go for open source intelligence. Now, malware is an issue, and fortunately, it's a whole lot better than it used to be. But you may see things on your page that'll say, hey, quick, you've been hacked. You need to click on this link or call this number. Or you might see some alluring ads such as, click here to lose 20 pounds of belly fat in 5 minutes. Listen, if it's telling you you've been hacked, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, oh gosh, all of these large corporations, they are not going to personally contact you to help. Okay? It's just the way the world works. But if you do get a message and you end up calling, what'll happen is you'll give somebody full control of your computer, and now they have another computer in their arsenal of computers that they use for nefarious purposes, and or they will take your money and your information that's on your computer. So don't fall into those scams. Losing 20 pounds of any type of fat, unless you're eating it, in 5 minutes is totally unrealistic and unreal and untrue. And what do they say? If it's too good to be true, well, it isn't. And this leads to something else that may be a little bit more concealing than the malware that I had described before. And it's something called phishing. What phishing is I am going to try to lure you into clicking a link. Or, better yet, I really love this picture. It says, hey, here's the URL. Go to this website. Hey, by the way, you need to put in your email address or your Facebook login and your password. So something that people can do who are knowledgeable about this is generate a web page that looks exactly like the web page for Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, whichever one you want to discuss. And it will say, oh, you've been logged out. Click in here, put in your username, and then type in your password. Right? It looks on the surface like it is the website itself, but if you look very closely, it might be Facebook, right? BOOLK, so it's really hard to see that L, right? It's very easy to hide and obfuscate the URLs, so pay attention to where you're going and what you're doing. But what happens after you log in is it will say, oops, that's the wrong password. Redirect you to the correct site that you want to log into where you are successfully able to log in again, and the nefarious players now have your login credentials. So just beware of phishing. It may look like it's coming from somebody you know. If it's a suspicious link, don't click it. Now, Facebook does have some features. They have quite a few features, from the super beginner to more advanced security concepts. However, instead of me going over all of the privacy settings, I would just like to make these readily available to you, and I'll put them down in the description below. So you can check out, this is really awesome. I love Facebook did this. It is www.facebook.com/about/basics. And they have a great plethora of things that you are worried about. So you might have certain questions about, how do I recover a lost account? Or how do I make my password more secure? Or how do I change those privacy settings that was discussed in the video or mentioned in the video? They have individual links within this site that will walk you through very quickly, very easily, through each and every single concept. Plus, you get to pick what you are worried about. Also, the majority of the items were taken from this Keeping Your Account Secure page off of Facebook, so you can always check that link and get it directly from them. Now, for the privacy settings, very, very well done. There's a video on Wired.com talking about Facebook security. It's only 3 minutes, so substantially lower time than this video here. And it will show you just very briefly how to go through those privacy settings. Not necessarily one by one, but it'll show you where they're all at. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. They did a great job, a better job than I could have. So I'll just leave it to him to show you exactly what you can do to help secure those privacy settings. So that's really all I had. It's very basic things that you can use across all social media. I gave you some links to securing yourself better on Facebook itself. And listen, in the cyber realm, I wish you all stay safe. Have a good time.